everyone, it's Nikki, and today, as you can see by the title, I'll be here to talk about what it is like to be a business major. I have gotten a ton of questions about this, and I figured I would just do a whole video kind of explaining my background with being a business major and what it's all about. So just to start off with some background information, I go to the University of California, Irvine, and I am in the Merage School of Business as a business administration major, and this is my 4th year here. So honestly, when I was coming into UCI, did not really know what I wanted to major in, and this was kind of how I was with all of my applications to college. I knew that I didn't want to do science or English or engineering or anything like that, and I figured I wanted something a little bit more general that I could apply to different jobs in the future just because I wasn't sure, and I didn't want to come in undecided either. So I was applying at some schools as economics, but at UCI they had the business administration program, and I kind of read a little bit about it. I didn't really know what it was, to be honest, and I didn't know that it was any harder to get into than any other major, so I kind of was just like, okay, biz admin sounds cool, like click. And turned out I got really lucky and ended up getting in because Merage is a super competitive program for undergrad, and I'm not sure the exact statistics, but I do know that it is pretty competitive, and I'm really grateful that I did end up applying because it's really hard to transfer in once you are already enrolled in UCI. So any of you freshmen who are thinking about applying or coming into UCI, I would definitely suggest checking out the undergrad program. So within my major, that's the only thing I have. I don't have a minor, but with biz admin you can emphasize in certain things. So basically that means you have to take 3 classes of the same category to kind of get your emphasis with business administration. So I actually have 2 emphases. The first one is in marketing, and the second one is in organization and management, because both of those seem to be really interesting to me. It's funny because I originally wanted to do marketing as my emphasis, but I ended up taking so many organization and management classes with a certain professor, Professor McLaughlin, that I ended up just getting to add the emphasis in as well, because it was like I might as well since I've already taken all the classes. So if you are a biz admin student, Professor McLaughlin is amazing. She is so funny and her classes are really interesting, so I would suggest taking those. So a little bit more about Merage itself. It is a really small school, so within my class, I believe there's I probably should have looked this up. There's 150 seats, I think, per year in the biz admin program, or honestly, at any time, I'm not 100% sure. But that means the classes are really small. Most of my classes are about 80 students each, which in college can be pretty small compared to 200, 300, 400 person lecture halls. But it's around 80 students or less. And everyone is so intelligent in this business program, which can be really intimidating because a lot of my classmates are just really bright. They're also from all different areas of the world. Everyone is super diverse. There's not one stereotypical business major. Everyone is really different, and so it really brings in a huge flow of different ideas, and I think that's really what business is all about. So it's really great getting to work with different people that I normally wouldn't have. And the last thing about business administration is that it is more focused on kind of the managerial side of business rather than business economics, which is not in the Merage school. It's more focused obviously on the economic side of business. So that is why I prefer the administrative side, just because I would rather get into more of management type activities versus econ, because I'm not the best at math and I'm really interested in seeing how people work with each other in business. So that's kind of why I chose that. So one major thing about being a business major, and I think that this probably applies to every school, but especially at my school, is that you will be working with people a ton, and probably more than any other major, I would assume, is pretty much every class I've ever taken with business has had some sort of group project or group presentation, and that's another thing you'll be having to do really often is presentations. So try and get comfortable talking in front of people, and if you're not, you're going to learn how to get comfortable. I took a whole class devoted entirely pretty much on business writing and presentations, and they taught you how to give a proper presentation, which was really interesting because a lot of us never learn that. They just kind of throw you up there and they're like, go, just present to us. But there's a whole science behind it. It's really cool. And definitely, like I said, get used to group projects. I took a whole class about teams and teamwork and learning how to work with other people. So the thing that I love the most about business is that it is super applicable to real world situations. Because you do learn how to work with people, you learn how to speak in front of people, you learn how and why people interact, and things like that, and why people purchase things the way they do, and how to sell or convince somebody to do something. It's all really applicable to real life situations. So I love that, and I love being able to apply that to other parts of my life. Business classes are also super interactive, so in general, professors will be calling on you, they'll learn your names, they will put participation into the grades. So just expect that and kind of be ready to answer questions or try and come up with questions to ask in class, because they will be expecting you to participate, especially once you get into your more upper division classes when it's a little bit smaller. And you'll also probably have a lot of the same professors. I have had repeat professors multiple times, and that is just because the program is really small. So you will probably get to know your professors, and if you can, you should try and go to office hours and communicate with them. Don't be afraid to ask them questions. I love asking my professors questions in class that just kind of apply to more general things that don't even necessarily refer to the class. One of my professors that I took was really cool, and he had us every so often write random questions down on pieces of paper and hand them in, and they all ranged from like, why are you a teacher here at UCI, all the way to what is your home life like, and tell us about your children, and where do you like to work out, and crazy things like that. And I love also, another thing that I really like to talk to my professors too is about getting jobs in the future, because they really want to see you succeed, and they will oftentimes tell you about job opportunities or give you interview tips or bring in guest speakers who can tell you more about their company, and it's really great. So definitely utilize your professors because they are there to help you. Going along with that, definitely take advantage of the resources that your business program has. I'm assuming that most of them are similar to my school, where they'll have like some sort of career center, they will have a counseling center, and they'll give out like weekly newsletters or monthly newsletters on your email, and they'll have seminars, and I got free headshots through my program, and there's all kinds of really interesting things. They'll have guest speakers from huge companies come in, or even in your classes you might have guest speakers from companies come in, and utilize them, ask them questions, because they are out in the real world, they know what they're talking about, and they can probably help you guide your path down to getting a job in the future. So for me, one of the things that I love about business that is not having anything to do with the content of the classes is just the schedule and the breakdown of the classes. So for me, generally I have classes either Monday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Thursday. And this coming quarter, I'm actually so excited because I only have 2 days of classes. All my classes are on Monday, Wednesday, so I have Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday off. And I cannot tell you guys the last time that I remember having a Friday class, because business classes are generally just 2 days a week, and they also don't really ever have discussions, which is usually like an extra class that gets added on to your Monday, Wednesday, Friday classes for like regular majors, I guess. So it's been so nice that when I've gotten into my upper division classes, I really don't have to go to class a lot because I only have it a couple days a week. So it's also nice because I have Friday off to just work or relax or do whatever I want. Another really interesting thing that I've noticed about business classes is that they really hardly ever curve, at least in my program. They pretty much just do grades based on an individual basis, or they grade group projects, midterm. Most of my classes are a combination of participation, possibly some kind of homework, midterm, final, group project. That's like pretty much all you get graded on. There's no curving. They expect you to do really well. That's pretty much it. And they kind of, I like the fact that they don't curve because it's based on like a person-to-person basis. So you get the grade that you deserve, and you're never going to be curved down because someone did better than you, which I think is kind of shady. I don't know why people do that. But yeah, so I think that the class grading is pretty fair, and overall I have not had an issue with that. But it could be different based on other programs. I'm sure that other programs are different. So definitely try and find out how the professors in your program grade and kind of try and work with that so that you can get the best grade that you can get. So the last thing that I get questions about all the time, just from friends and family especially, is what are you going to do with your major when you graduate, Nikki? Because you're graduating soon. And I am like, please don't talk about it. To be quite honest, I'm still not sure what I want to do, just because there is so much you can do with a business major, because it is really general. And if you think about it, pretty much any organization or field of work has to have a business side in order to run. So like I said before, I'm really interested in the marketing side of business rather than like finance or accounting or things like that, which I just do not have the brain for. Like finance and accounting is so hard for me, but props to people who can do that, because I cannot do that. But I have also recently been really interested in sales and the side of that. I just think it's really interesting how like consumer behavior works. So I'm hoping to go into something like that, but I have yet to decide. I'm just gonna kind of try and start working and see where that takes me. I am also possibly thinking about going to grad school to get my MBA, which is a master's in business. So right now I'm getting my undergrad. But in order to get into an MBA program, generally you're gonna need a couple years of work experience anyway. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. And you're also gonna need to take the GMAT, which is like basically it's like the standardized testing that gets you into grad school. It's like or business grad school. It's kind of similar to the SAT in general, but the GMAT is specifically for business and MBA programs, whereas like the GRE is for just general grad school. So long story short, I'm gonna work for a little bit, see if I think I need my master's, and I will take the test if I do end up wanting to go get that. But it really just depends on where life takes me. I have no idea as of right now. I'm just trying to get through the end of the year. But I will keep you guys updated, of course, with that. And hopefully I'll be able to, as I'm going through the job search process, put out some videos about how to apply to jobs and how to get interview tips and your resume and things like that. But in the meantime, if you have any more questions about being a business major that I did not answer, please go ahead and leave those down below. I'd be happy to answer them to the best of my abilities. And if you have not already, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. And I will be seeing you guys very soon. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Bye.